On today's Rono's podcast, today we're going to be talking about the Bengals Jets. Terrible game. Start out the regular season in week 8. It's week 8. What are we going to figure out, Bengals? And then the World Series went into an 18th inning, which is kind of crazy. And then we'll talk some Cubcat soccer and Cubcat football. And then we'll end the show right there as it is. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. I'm at 255 subscribers, 254 last time I checked. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, and sorry for the recent lack of uploads. I've been busy with football. I've been busy with a bunch of schoolwork. So, yeah, been getting that done lately. All right, on with the podcast. Welcome, everyone, to the Ronos podcast. Today is Wednesday, October 29th. And ladies and gentlemen, the Bengals suck again. Here's why. Because the Bengals looked so bad that it was going to be a 1-point score comeback by the Jets. Joe Flacco looked intensely good. And basically, our offense looked good as well. But Jamar Chase barely got the ball, which I haven't seen. The defense still sucks. So either fix the defense now or try to fix the defense next season. But don't try to fix the defense now. Don't even try to fix the defense in the end of the season. Fix the defense now. Trade for some of those trade pieces, like in the holes of in the defense. Trey Hendrickson's out again, which is crazy. And yeah, so we're going to have to see what happens with this defense and Trey Hendrickson and all those guys. I mean, Al Golden is trying to make this defense better. But the defense needs to step up and try to win some football games. Even though they had an offensive juggernaut against the Steelers, you still need to win your football games against bad teams. The 0-7 Jets. Are you kidding me? The 0-7 Jets. Seriously. Aaron Glenn gets his first win. I mean, this game was terrible by both the Jets and the Bengals, but the Jets ended up winning 39-38 off of a Breece Hall touchdown pass to a tight end. And it was National Tight Ends Day in the entire NFL. So, National Tight Ends Day was finally figured out in the National Football League. And the better team won, which was the Jets. But here's what the Bengals need to do. They need to do something about the defense, the offense, and definitely the coaching. So the offense, I feel like Joe Flacco's a good piece to have on the offense. On the defensive side, Trey Hendrickson was a good piece to have on the defensive side. But you need to have more key players in the secondary. Geno Stone, not great. Everybody else, not great. This whole defense couldn't tackle. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many tackles they missed. They missed like maybe 55 tackles on Sunday against the New York Football Jets. Now, on top of that, the coaching for the Bengals, which it was very terrible game overall by Zach Taylor. And the play calling overall, terrible. And Zach Taylor needs to be fired right away. Because if you lose to the 0-7 Jets, that's insane. You lose to the Jets, your quarterback needs to be fired immediately. I mean, seriously. Not your quarterback, your defense. What a choke job by the Bengals defense and the Bengals themselves. Not great. Not great, but he needs to do something about this team. And hell, I hope he gets fired sometime soon. Because the Bengals need to find their groove, man. They've been up and down this whole entire season. And look where they're at now. The Steelers lost to the Packers. You needed to win against the Jets to be a half game back of first place, which should have happened. But it didn't happen, apparently. But it didn't happen. Aaron Rodgers lost. You should have won that game. I swear. You should have won that game, Zach. Oh my gosh. That game should have been won in the trenches. And Yoshi Vosh shouldn't even be on the field. At all. He can't catch. And also, you run on second down and get a yard out of it. Zach Taylor, everybody. Runs the ball on second down and gets a yard out of it. What are we doing, Zach? I sincerely do not know what's going on. Seriously, talk to me. What's going on? Figure it out, Zach. It's almost a bye week. Week 10 is our bye week. We have the Chicago Bears next. And this team is having some question marks. Definitely, on the sides. Is Joe Flacco that good enough? Or did he just play out for one game against the Steelers just because it was against Aaron Rodgers in the Unk Bowl? I mean, just a terrible game overall by the Bengals. You lose 38-39 to the Jets. Terrible game. That's the only close game it was. Seriously. The only close game. Alright. That's on to the World Series. Alright, it is World Series time. Dodgers, Blue Jays, they're about to play right now, which by the time I'm recording this on Tuesday night, the Dodgers look darn good, but the Blue Jays excited me the best, which was awesome. The Blue Jays took a 1-0 lead in Toronto, and then the Dodgers tied it, and then the Dodgers walk it off again. You want to know why? 18th inning game, and guess who won it for the Dodgers? Freddie Mother Frickin' Freeman. Wow. Gibby, meet Freddie again. He won the game 1 in 2023 against 2024 against the New York Yankees. The Yankees lose. Oh man. The Blue Jays were having so much fun. They have Henry Barger, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. should have 2 home runs in this game. But the theme of the night last night was Teoscar Hernandez hitting a home run last night. Definitely. Yeah. I've seen it before. Nobody on. Teoscar Hernandez just hits a freaking nuke. And it's a watch ball. And guess what happens? Teoscar Hernandez turns the game on its head. Immediately. Brother. And that game went into 18 innings. Which is obviously kind of crazy to think about. What in the absolute heck? 18 innings. That could have gone to 20 if Freddie Freeman didn't hit a home run. Which the game probably would have ended at 3:45 a.m. And the game ended here at 3 a.m. and in Los Angeles at midnight. 3-hour time difference, people. 3-hour time difference. Which is kind of crazy. Yeah. The Dodgers won on yet another walk-off by Freddie Freeman, who definitely is the MVP of Game 3. In Game 4, hopefully, it'll probably be Vladimir Guerrero Jr. The Blue Jays, though, they got into a little bit of a confusion in the third inning, possibly, I think, where the batter thought it was ball 4, and Tyler Glasnow thought he got a strike out of that. And it was a late strike call. Batter thought it was ball 4. And the guy on first thought it was ball 4. Thank you again, Angel Hernandez. Thank you again. Oh, look who's starting in Game 4. Shohei Ohtani. You're shitting me. Alright. On to Cov Cath Soccer. Holy crap. The soccer Colonels have done it again. First time since 2021. This is the first time they've made it back to the state championship semifinals. Now they're moving on to the state championship. And who better than to send us into the state championship? Tanner Robertson. I mean, he hits every single time. And Booker Gifford, MVP of the entire state semifinals. What a goalie Booker Gifford is. Booker Gifford is such an insane goalie. I've seen him in practice before. He's so good that, you'll miss one up in the zone, but it's going to be a goal anyway. You miss one, it's okay. You're in penalties anyway. But the Colonels win it 4-3 in penalty kicks. A freshman and a sophomore tried to step up and do the job, but they couldn't connect. And South Oldham will lose to the Colonels 4-3. And then the soccer Colonels will play on Saturday at 4 o'clock in the Lexington Sports Complex. I'm going down to that game, definitely. Which is going to be a very fun game to watch. Oh! What a catch by Kiki Hernandez. It was a foul ball and a half. Sorry, I got off topic there, but that was a great catch. I'm recording this on Tuesday night at like 8:13 p.m. and the game just started, and we already have an insane catch. But yeah, the Colonels soccer team looks really good. I think they can win state. They'll either play they'll either play St. X of Louisville or Bryan Station, or Bryan Station on Saturday. So yeah, look for that game on Saturday. Go down to that game, Colonel Crazies. I need you all there. Saturday, 4 o'clock in Lexington. I need you all there. All right, now on to Covington Catholic football. Now, on the Covington Catholic football, here we are sitting at 7-3. The Colonels are sitting at 7-3. Your 3 losses: Highlands, Ryle, and Elder. Your 7 wins against caliber opponents: Cathedral, Central. I mean, Simon Kenton wasn't even a close one. All of these wins have come through a stellar offense by the Colonels, led by Cash Harney, Dylan Geyser, Zach Brooks, Donovan Bradshaw, Gabe Weiss. I mean, just an all-around great offense, and definitely their tight end, Owen Pitzer. Which, very good offense there. And then the offensive line: Johnny Lynn, Tucker Evans, Brady Gard, Mitchell Wolf, and Ryan Haas. I mean, every one of those players, it comes down to the trenches, and definitely the offensive line and the tight ends and the running back all have a job to do, which is block and keep the quarterback from getting sacked. Definitely. And Cash Harney probably has maybe under 1,000 rushing yards this season. Dylan Geyser probably has over 1,000 rushing yards this season, which is very good. But Cash Harney was a passing quarterback this season, even though you had maybe 60-plus yards against the Beechwood Tigers. But also, Cash Harney is a quarterback who can lead teams to a victory. I mean, look at week 2 against Elder. He put up a very well performance, but had an interception late in the end of the game, which was costly. But Cash Harney, knowing Cash, he gets himself back up. He doesn't look at the past mistakes that he has. He tries to look forward, and he tries to be that better version of himself from that week. And week 2 against Elder, they had a chance to go down and win the game against the high-powering Elder Panthers, who are legitimately the best team in Ohio, I would say. They're probably going to win a state championship. Now we'll talk about Ironton on the other side of that, but we'll get to this first. But honestly, Cash Harney has been a X factor for this team because the quarterbacks. You have Cash Harney on the wide receiver, and at quarterback. Put him in at running back too, I guess. But yeah, it's going to be hard for Cash, but it's going to be easy for him as well. Cash Harney leading this team into the playoffs against Boyd County and then probably against Johnson Central. Johnson Central is a tough opponent to face, especially in the playoffs, because Johnson Central you had their number for the past 4 years, but this year is different. Johnson Central looks really, really good, I would say. They're gonna go down there hopefully next week, in 3 weeks from now. They're gonna go down to Johnson Central and hopefully kick their butts. Is what I'm saying. I hope the Colonels beat Boyd County this week, in 2 weeks, and then in 3 weeks go kick the butts of Johnson Central, who you beat by 1 point last year. 1 point. And then you beat Boyle County in a thrilling game, which was an exhilarating game, I would say. But the Colonels won that one. We're looking pretty good. But yeah, Cash Harney leading the Colonels to another playoff berth against Boyd County in 2 weeks. But first, it is the bye week for the Colonels, so no game on Friday this week. But this offense looked really good against Mason County. Geyser, 4 touchdowns in that game. And the big man, Charlie Reeves, scores a special teams touchdown on the first play of the game, which was awesome. And I don't know, we'll maybe use him in the playoffs, hopefully. But yeah, whatever the coaches have in their mindsets and in their mindsets, they just need to have them ready to go for the playoffs. And we know these coaches. Coach Evanston, he's ready for the playoffs. He knows these playoffs. He knows them well. He prepares these guys well for the playoffs to come. Cash Harney, he already knows the task. Coach Evanston tells him the task. And Coach Evanston is such a really good coach, and he can get them good wins in the playoffs. And I hope that Coach Evanston can lead them to another state championship title this year. But yeah, Charlie Reeves had a touchdown on special teams, which was kind of crazy in my mind. But yes, the Colonels are looking good heading into the playoffs, so hopefully they make a stand. So they make a stand against Boyd County, and hopefully make a state championship run later in the season, and hopefully win it all in the state championship. I'm bought in on Cash Harney. Cash Harney is such a good quarterback, and I mean, he can do it on the ground game, and he can do it in the passing game too. And he said before the season, his player is he kind of acts like Lamar Jackson, that type of quarterback that can be elusive in the pocket and get outside the pocket and be a rushing quarterback, and can also sling the rock well, the ball well. I cannot speak for some reason. And sling the ball well downfield. I mean, yeah, Dylan Courtney had a touchdown pass this season. Dylan Courtney had a touchdown pass to Cash Harney against Dixie Heights. And Dylan Geyser, we're hoping to see next year, which is going to be very fun to watch. And Dylan Courtney, definitely, from what I've heard, he can read defenses, and hopefully he can win games for the Covenant Catholic Colonels. And hopefully Dylan Courtney is on that track to be the best quarterback and fill in the shoes of Cash Harney once again. But yes, we hope that the Colonels make the playoffs, or that the Colonels make the state championship again. They haven't won it since 2019, and the Colonels hope to win it again and avenge their loss against Franklin County last year. But yeah, I'm bought in on this Colonels offense too. In addition, Gabe Weiss is coming back from a shoulder injury that sidelined him for the rest of the regular season against Cathedral from Indiana. But Gabe Weiss has been such a playmaker on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball. And Gabe Weaver also coming back from an ankle injury. He came back against Harrison County, which is very fun and very good. We love to see players get healthy. Definitely, the bye week is going to be where the players, most of the team is going to be back. Most of the team is going to be back, and this team is going to be full go for the offense, and the offense is going to be looking very good. The defense is going to be looking very good, and this team hopefully gets another championship W since 2019. All right, end of the show, people. All right, so we're going to do this thing called numbers. If I land on a number, we're going to do 1 through 100. So, and we're going to do a wheel. So, if I guess a number in between that range, then we'll keep the podcast going before we end the show. All right. Here we go. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I messed it up. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I didn't even pick a number. So, I'm going to pick a number real quick. And it's not going to be 37. But if you heard that, that was the music. Hopefully, I do not get copyrighted by this. But yeah. Anyway, let's get it going right now. I'm going to pick. Let's go with 55. Let's go 55. Yeah, we're going to go 55 on this one. All right. Oh, man. 36. Good show, everybody.